Spoštovane gledalke in gledalci, danes je z mano prav poseben gost in sicer je z menoj Rodom Hutchinsom iz Združenih držav Amerike in to, kar boste slišali danes v nadaljevanju v najinem pogovoru, je zagotovo nekaj, kar se vam splača pogledati, prisluhniti in se tudi kaj naučiti iz tega, iz njegove življenjske zgodbe in iz te transformacije, skozi katero je šel. In jaz mislim, da je to res nekaj, kar je pač vredno pogledati. Ok, Rod, thank you for taking time to talk with me. I'm really privileged to have you here. When I spoke with Igor Ogorevc, I was astonished when he explained to me a little bit about your story, and also I was very happy when I learned actually today that you are here.
Yes.
And that we can do
Right.
a little bit of talking about it. So first of all, how do you feel Slovenia so far?
First of all, thank you for having me here, Edward, and for the interview. I really, really appreciate it. I love Slovenia. I love Ljubljana.
Okay.
I love, this is my
I heard right pronouncement, Ljubljana.
Ljubljana.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the people. We've just had a wonderful, wonderful, fulfilling trip. It's just a lot of amazing experiences with people, with business, like meeting you and being able to share this interview with you. So.
Okay, so let's start a little bit for our viewers.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What actually are you doing? What is your life in general? From where are you? We just know that you are from the United States, and that's it. You know, it's a huge thing.
Huge thing.
Yeah. So please.
Okay,
please.
I am from the United States. I'm from Idaho. That's about an hour out of Yellowstone National Park. And we are here in Ljubljana to receive medical or whole health treatments from Igor and Irma concerning my health. We had some major issues that brought us here.
Okay.
And so the time that we got here was Monday afternoon, and we'll be leaving tomorrow morning. And we've seen a complete turnaround in the health condition that I originally arrived with versus going home. When we got here Monday night, I couldn't walk. We were coming here in a wheelchair. Couldn't move my arms higher than this. Pain level was on a level of 10 or higher. So I was in really, really, really bad shape. And
this week?
Yes.
Really?
Just Monday of this week.
Okay. Now I'm interested about that. I thought, sincerely, I thought that this is some situation or years ago.
Yes, that too.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit what happened actually in general? What changed your life and how things were going before and what happened?
Yeah. So in my 30s, I ended up getting a virus that paralyzed me from the neck down. I was a quadriplegic, not expected to live. I'd been in the ICU, our local hospital, for 3.5 months. And one day the doctors came in and said, hey, you're going to be dead in 2 weeks. Your body's following the process of not healing, you're acclimating to the drugs, and you're going to be dead in 2 weeks. And so through a series of opportunities and tender mercies from God, I didn't die. And ended up setting quite a few goals during that time if I didn't die. 2 of those goals was to go to Koni, Hawaii in the United States and complete the Ironman course, the world premier athletic event.
Already with virus?
Huh?
Already after you got virus?
Oh yes, that was because here I am in the hospital. I can't even break a saltine cracker with my mouth. It'd be like giving you a 2x4. And so I went ahead and set that goal. I got out of the hospital and started that process for training for the Ironman and what I call my race at my pace. Little did I know it would be 3 years later, 21 surgeries later, 15 of those, or 10 of those in 10 months. I'd have my hips replaced. I'd have my knee scoped, no ACL, no meniscus. I would have my right knee replaced. I'd have a spinal stimulator put in my back because of deteriorated pain and a sciatic nerve, 2 deteriorated discs, and several other major surgeries. After that, I would start meeting my goal of training for Koni, Hawaii. And fortunately, we were able to take a team with us to Hawaii in 2018.
But listen, it is quite common that somebody is catching the virus, unfortunately as it is, and then lay down and just wait what will happen. In your case, you stood up.
Yes.
How come?
Well, and the virus was rare.
Okay.
The doctor field knew very, very, very little about it.
Okay.
So they were learning as I was going through that process too.
Okay.
And a lot of people with that great of challenge, with that great of pain, incredible pain, paralyzed from the neck down. Imagine, you know, I couldn't even scratch my nose. I mean, the things we take and do every day for common, you know, we take for granted, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people lay down. I chose not to lay down. I chose to learn from it. And what I learned, Edward, was my son came in the next morning. The doctors had just come in that night and told us that I was going to be dead in 2 weeks. And they were right. I honestly believe that, simply because every indication of what my body was going through manifested that.
Okay.
But I just said, hey God, if given a second chance, what would I do? And I started thinking in my mind, this is what I do. Next day my son came in and I asked him to write down what I was going to say, and ended up sharing with him over 70 goals that I would do if I did not die. And they covered the areas of physical, spiritual, social, mental, and financial. The 5 pillars of our life and our journey in life and our hope in life. And so I was excited. In fact, a funny thing, Edward, is probably 12 hours later, after he had told us I was going to be dead in 2 weeks, that's when my son came in. I talked to him, my son left, and the doctor came back in, and I said, hey, as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and be doing the Ironman course. Now, Edward, that's swimming 2.4 miles in the ocean. It's biking 112, and it's running 26.2 miles. He thought I was delirious, and he called in the head psychiatrist because he thought I was on my way going out. So we went in 2018. It would take 23 years later, 21 surgeries later, a lot of pain. I'd go on to get Guillain-Barré was the virus, very rare. I'd go on to get it 2 more times, and we went to Koni, Hawaii. And what a beautiful experience. But it didn't go quite as we thought it was going to go. My training indicated I could have done it in 23 hours. Okay. Now, the Ironman is 17 hours.
Okay.
So,
what is additional 5 hours?
5-6 hours, yeah. I mean, from being paralyzed from the neck down, are you kidding?
Okay.
Yeah, and so, so we got on the course in Koni, and basically I was 19 hours straight on my bike. I had over 500 muscle cramps in my legs during that time, 19 straight hours. And so, long story short, we got through it, came back, and I had formed what is known as the Iron Dream Team. Iron because of Iron Man. And the Dream Team who were professionals that I could surround myself with that could help me from where I was to where I needed to be.
So just this I must ask. Simply I have to ask.
Okay.
What is on your mind when you are alone? When you have, I don't know, 153rd cramp? You know, what's going on your mind?
Excellent question. Excellent question. And this is important, the question you asked.
Okay.
Because setting a goal and setting a soul goal are 2 different things.
Exactly.
Setting a goal, we're not committed to it.
Okay.
Now we think we are, but we're really not committed to it. We become more committed to it.
Okay.
As we learn the efforts and the discipline and the sacrifice.
Okay.
But a soul goal from the moment that's made, it doesn't change. It only grows. And why I had to set I didn't know I was setting a soul goal. I didn't think, well, I'm going to be dead in 2 weeks, I'm going to set a soul goal.
Okay.
I just thought, what would I do if I couldn't fail?
Okay.
Time's not an object, money's not an object, you know, health's not an object. No matter what I did, I couldn't fail. And I started having my son write those things down.
Okay.
Well, in health, here I am going to be dead in 2 weeks. I needed to have a goal bigger than the challenge.
Okay.
And the Ironman course and the martial arts black belt course were two goals that were bigger than the challenge I was facing.
Okay.
And so that goal continued to grow and grow. And during each surgery, it never diminished at all. In fact, you asked what was my mindset. Maybe I can share my mindset with you of what it was 19 hours on the Ironman course.
I can hardly imagine.
So much pain. They had to help me off my bike. We'd go to the vehicle. They'd rub out the Charlie horses. They'd help me back to my bike. They'd help me get back on my bike. They'd push me 20 yards, and then I'd go as far as I could.
You know, I can imagine this scenery, you know. You are alone, you are on a bike, you are talking to yourself, you know, and the body is in pain.
Oh.
And, you know, the common man should say, what the hell am I doing here?
Yes. A common man wouldn't set that type of goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
He would never get that far.
Okay.
He would have done like you said. He would have laid down and just given up.
So, just to explore a little bit this moment, you know, what would you say to a common man to step out not to be anymore a common man, to be?
Great question. I would say, from my learning, and that's just the first part of the story. So much more has happened. That's even more. I would say that no one's common. We all have within us greatness. We all have within us the ability to be extraordinary.
Okay.
We all have within us the purpose of something greater than we are. And no matter where you are right now, whether you're in a health challenge, whether you're financially broke, you just lost your job, you just went through a divorce, no matter where you are, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Because that's the process of growth.
Okay.
But don't choose to stay there.
Okay.
Choose to make a decision to go forward.
But that's very important for me. You said you choose.
Yes.
No, you choose. It's not something that happens. You have to choose it.
Oh no, you have to be proactive. Yeah, Igor says, what are you willing to do?
Okay.
And that is the statement of a major athlete, anybody who's successful in business.
Okay.
And you do what it takes.
Okay.
But a soul goal isn't like, oh, I've got to be working all this hard. It's part of who you are. It's part of who you're becoming.
Okay.
And it's just a beautiful, beautiful journey. Yes, I was in a lot of pain, but at the same time, I had so many extraordinary things happening. I'd formed a dream team called the Iron Dream Team.
Okay.
These were business owners that could take me from where I was at and help me go where I was going.
Okay.
Because I was so far behind that I needed help. So,
you said you were quadriplegic.
Yes.
And you had this virus.
Yes, Guillain-Barré.
And when I look at you today, you are far from that.
Thank you.
So, can you explain us a little bit that change?
Yes, I can.
What happened in between?
Yes, I can. You know, so much of this is the mindset, right?
Yeah.
If you think you can, you will.
Okay.
If you think you can't, you won't.
Okay.
I love that idea that if you take the word impossible, IMPOSSIBLE, and you just change it a bit, it is all the difference between not doing it and doing it. And you know how you change it? You go IM apostrophe POSSIBLE. I'm possible.
Yeah.
And that apostrophe is heart.
Okay.
That apostrophe is what gives us the drive to go. Sure, I hurt. Every time I went into the hospital, I hurt. My hips just have been replaced, knees have just been replaced. I hurt. But you know what? That's temporary hurt compared to the major victory one feels in accomplishing the goal. So we went to Kona, we got back. I ended up in the ICU over in Kona.
Okay.
My kidneys had shut down 60 miles into the bike ride. I didn't know it. I knew I hurt. I knew I had over 500 Charlie horses or muscle cramps.
Okay.
But I didn't know it, know why. And so we got off the course, and I said, okay, let's run. And 2 miles into the run, my team, who I invited to be part of my dream team, said, we're pulling you off the course. And I said, no, you're not. They said, yes, we are. No, you're not. I didn't come this far to quit.
Okay.
This is another key thing to success. If you invite someone to be your mentor, have the courage to let them mentor you. And have the humility to learn from them. Huge. And so I listened to them, and they said, look, if we call the team coach and he says no, the team doctor, he says no, will you come off the course? And I said, yes. But if he says yes, let's get back to it. They called the team doctor, and the team doctor said, no, don't take him to the hospital. I'm going, yes, I got to get back out on the course. And then he says, Edward, call the ambulance. He is in such serious shape that by the time you put him in a car and get him to the hospital, he may not make it. Twice in my life now. So we got to the hospital. Amazing story. You can go to rodhutchins.com, read more about it. I ended up going home the next afternoon. We were speaking to a large group on the island of over 600 people, and I had a day to recover. I was still in a lot of pain, and we came home. And what I ended up being diagnosed with was rapid meiosis. My kidneys had shut down. I should have been probably dead. In fact, the doctors say, all the doctors, my team of doctors, the doctors in Kona said, had I gone another 2 hours, they would have been shipping me home in a box instead of me getting on a plane, walking. So the team, that was such an extraordinary experience. So the team came back, my Iron Dream team, and one by one they just were saying, hey, would you consider going back? And it's like, no, I just accomplished that goal. But as each one of them started doing it individually, I got thinking about it, and I thought, yeah, that would be extraordinary. I know I can do it in 23 hours. I have all the equipment, I have the team, but I didn't have a goal. I'd already met the surviving goal. And so I ended up getting a goal, and that goal was to bring attention to people with trauma all around the world, veterans with PTSD. If instead of the attention coming on me, I could put the attention on them and their plight, that was good enough for me to be a soul goal.
So we are today in Ljubljana. You are here accompanied with Igor Ogorevc. How you two met? What happened? What's the reason behind?
Let me head right there. What ended up happening was right after that goal was set, I ended up with bronchitis, pneumonia, and then COVID. Of the 6 things that COVID showed the medical profession, I had 5 at levels people were dead at. An example was my blood oxygenation rate was 33%. It would remain 33% for 2.5 years. I was bedridden. 15 seconds on the phone would give me 4 hours of serious cardiac arrest pain. And at that time, through a mutual friend, I had been introduced to Kathleen S. McGowan out of Texas. Kathleen's, she's a holistic practitioner, breadth and depth of experience worldwide. And she and I met, and she started just following my situation. I couldn't communicate because I couldn't speak for 15 seconds. I was bedridden. And basically what happened is the second thing that I have learned that's life-changing, foundational, to living a life that's fulfilled, a life that's hopeful, a life that's humble, joyful. You would think that through all that, I would lose all that. It was through all that I developed it. And it was because about what I'm going to say next. regardless of where someone is in their life, there is a power greater than them.
Okay.
And that power probably sees the picture bigger than they do. But you know, it's really hard to believe that. It's hard to understand it. Like you said, this is almost impossible to imagine.
Yeah.
I went through it. It happened. I've got medical records, okay? So I believed in God. Do you remember when I said, if I couldn't fail, what would I do?
Okay.
I want this to be important in my interview, especially when you talk about mindsets. I had just been given my death sentence. I knew he was right. The doctor was right. I'd built a tolerance to the drugs. I saw that. I felt it. I witnessed the infections coming back just very, very brutally. He was right. But God saw a bigger picture. And through His tender mercies, His miracles, I was saved that day. Well, you know what? If it's a soul goal, who's my partner? Who's on my dream team? God.
God, yeah.
And He doesn't fail. And so why would I think I should fail? It would become a journey. And if I would just trust in Him, that was important. But it also took people like Igor and Irma and Kathy, because science is our ability to understand something that's so complex that through immense research, immense hypothesis and testing, we see what is known to us to be the reality.
Okay.
And so the first time that Igor got me better, I came back and people today, even today, there's no words for it. There's no words for it. The media knows me really well in my town, and so to be in a wheelchair and then to come back, having swam 200 yards. So the idea that Igor and Irma flew to Texas in September of last year, and in 4 days, they were able to get me totally healthy enough again to start training when the allopathic failed. Now I have great doctors. Okay. And I'll forever be grateful for them. They got me as far as they could, but they couldn't go any higher. Okay. And that's where Igor, Irma, and Kathy stepped in, Kathleen. Yeah. And so the fact that they got me better then, and then coming to Ljubljana again, and not being able to walk, being in a wheelchair, not being able to move my arms, being in critical pain with a 9-inch incision on my knee, because of the second surgery. For them, since Monday night to today, to be able to get, well, actually before today, yesterday I walked up those stairs, no pain at all. I haven't had pain since yesterday. Okay. And so the second thing is, surround yourself and be open-minded. I know where the core of my power exists, but I'm also open to surrounding myself with people who have an expertise that I need to go beyond where the other people have helped. And so surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with heart people. The last thing I want to share that's really important is I have 2 sayings that have been my mantra, my mindset, that make me smile when the things are the hardest. Okay. And those 2 sayings are, first of all, my race at my pace. You go on my website, you're going to see that all over it. Okay. That was the name of my race in Kona before, and that's the name of my race now. My race at my pace, I'm in no competition against anybody else. You know who I'm in competition against, Edward?
With you?
My next best self.
Oh, yeah.
My next best self.
Great.
And remember I said 15 seconds on the phone would cost me 4 hours that was a victorious day. Okay. Because for the first time in a long time, I spoke 15 seconds on the phone.
I see.
But when I would, when I was training for the Ironman and I'd bike 80 miles a day, that was victorious. Okay. It wasn't a measure of what I did. It was a measure of that I did the best I could. Like Igor says, what are you willing to do? I was willing to give it my best. That is my mindset. No matter what I do today, It's my race and my pace, and I'm going to give it my best. The second thing that is my mantra is making the next best right decision that leads you to your next best and highest self.
Okay.
Do you know the decisions we make every day really affect where we end up?
Yeah.
We would like to think it's totally out of our hands, or we'd like to think it's totally in our hands.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's neither.
Okay.
It's a power greater than us. It's surrounding ourselves with the right people, and then it's our own mindset.
Okay.
And making the next right decision. The next right decision is what I'm about to do going to help me or set me back? Because when you start thinking that way, it's just really quick. Is this good or is this bad? But you know what it always does? At the end of the day, you just met your next best highest self.
Okay.
You're better.
Okay. Okay.
It might be a small thing. When I decided with 33% blood oxygenation rate to talk on the phone for 50 seconds, that was the next right decision. And you know what? Although I was in 4 hours of pain, it was a victory because I just met my next best highest self.
Okay, leave it with this thought. So, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
To share your thoughts and to share your feelings. Actually, I believe that we all had the opportunity to feel actually what you are talking about. You know, that this comes out of you.
Yes.
That is your genuine you, which is very important, I think, for all of us
You bet.
to get in touch with that part of ourselves. So I wish you a lot of luck and a lot of that will, which is somehow I can feel it from yourself.
Yes.
That this will never leave you.
No.
So
I invite you and your followers and all of Slovenia to follow my journey on rodhutchins.com.
we will.
All the way through my training,
we will.
through their mentorship, and join me on the course in Koni, Hawaii next year.
we will.
So part of it, that mindset of winning and healing and just fully becoming happy and joyful again is accepting responsibility for where you're at. It's accepting the fact that you don't have to remain there. You know, it is very powerful what our mind does. But what our mind does is followed by what we choose to do. It presents those ideas, those thoughts, those feelings, and either we choose to act on or we don't. And I would encourage everybody out there, look, you've got two choices. It's pretty simple. Number one, you can choose to move forward and do nothing. And that's okay. Because remember, I said in the very beginning, you're okay where you're at. But if you're not happy, why would you stay there? If you're not happy, why not just take that teeny, tiny step that makes all the difference? If you're not happy, you won't become happy by doing nothing. The second choice is to say, I choose responsibility for the course, success, peace, hope in my life. And hope is such a big thing. Hope is what gives us the ability to smile amidst the pain. Hope is the ability to have us go one more mile when we're hurting really bad. Hope is everything. And if you choose that path of hope, if you choose that's what you want in your life, then I invite you to reach out to Planet Health here in Ljubljana. Reach out to Igor and Irma. Reach out to their team. Amazing, amazing team. I have been so impressed. And the reason that I've been impressed is because it's one thing when you choose to accept responsibility. It's another when you've made that choice and you have a result far greater, far better than you can imagine, that you could have hoped for. And especially where everybody else has told you that it's impossible. It's been made impossible. And that's what Igor and Irma has done. So no matter what challenge you're having in life, albeit where it's at, make one of those choices, but then be loyal to yourself. Be happy with that choice. And if you're not happy with not being happy, then take responsibility. Reach out to Planet Health here in Ljubljana reach out to Planet Health. They also have their business in USA. Kathleen McGowan is the CEO there. She's my mentor. She's the one that saved me now from death twice, mentored me to get off 100% of my medicines, and allowed me, now imagine the power of this, allowed me to have such an incredible team of scientific research, proof. You know, if I can be saved once from COVID, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm unique, I'm special, whatever you want to say. I just think I'm normal, okay? Well, I'm not normal, but, you know, anybody can do it, right? But I'll tell you one thing, to have me come back the second time and be almost as in bad a shape, and within 4 days be able to walk up the stairs of the local castle, I think is bigger than the first story. I think that it's excellent. So take responsibility, reach out to Igor and Irma at Planet Health, and I look forward to hearing your story.
Spoštovane gledalke in gledalci, verjamem, da ste uživali v tem pogovoru, tako kot sem užival tudi sam, in jaz upam, da se je tudi vas dotaknila ta zgodba, tako kot je se dotaknila mene, in upam, da se mi boste pridružili tudi pri spremljanju Roda in njegovih uspehov tudi v prihodnje, in seveda bomo tudi spremljali naprej dogajanje povezano z Planetom zdravja, z Igorjem in Irmo Ogorevc, kako pomagata tudi drugim na njihovi poti osvobajanja in od bolezni, bolečin in ne nazadnje tudi k boljšemu življenju v celoti. Hvala lepa za pozornost in lepo se imejte.